What's up everybody, and welcome back to Legit Whiskey Reviews, and today I'll be reviewing Old Grandad 114. Alright, so I have a good one today. Surprisingly, in my 3 years, it's been 3 years that I've been on YouTube, on WhiskeyTube, and I've never ever reviewed OGD 114, which is super surprising to me. This is like one of my favorite go-to bottles. And I was just surprised going through my videos. I've never reviewed it before, so you know, better late than never. I'm just kind of surprised that I've never reviewed it, it being one of my favorite bottles, you know, affordable bottles at that. So yeah, let's get into this. So this one comes in at 114 proof, so 57% ABV. It comes out of the Jim Beam distillery, of course, and yeah, I mean, it's super affordable, $30, unheard of, especially for the proof. I'm not sure what the age range is on this. It's non-age stated. I do believe this is a high rye mash bill. So, but yeah, I'm super excited to get into this. Like I said, $30 for the proof, you know, and the quality that you get in this is just, you know, it's gonna be good. Obviously I'm gushing about it already, but yeah, let's get into this. All right, it might be a little more pricey in some other states or whatever, but yeah, where I'm at here in New Mexico, it's $30, so you can't beat that. All right. Yeah, this is beautiful. So this is I get a lot of orange citrus, a lot of cinnamon. The proof comes through, but it's not like spiky or uninviting or anything like off-putting like that. A ton of baking spices, so I'm getting a lot of cinnamon, orange citrus, maybe a little bit of oak. There's a hint, just a little hint of that Jim Beam nuttiness, but I'm not getting as much nuttiness as I usually do get in some other Jim Beam products. So this one, if you're not into the Jim Beam nuttiness, I feel like this one doesn't bring it as much as some other products. But yeah, it's very sweet smelling. But yeah, just a lot of orange and a lot of baking spices. There's a hint of caramel. Like I said, the oak is present. It's just a little bit of oak, a hint of oak. Vanilla. You get the classic bourbon notes, but with that rye spice as well. Yeah, a lot of rye spice. So you get like the rye spice, the orange citrus, and cinnamon and baking spices, I feel like are the core of this, like the notes that really jump out, and everything else I mentioned is kind of like in the background but present. So it smells really good. Like I said, it's a classic. It's one of my favorite go-to, like, budget, I would say, especially nowadays, 2023 budget bourbons. Yeah, it's just good. Let's try it on the palate. Cheers. That just coats your palate. It clings to the palate. It's not overly complex, but everything I mentioned on the nose is coming through on the palate. That orange citrus, the rye spice, the vanilla caramel is present there. A hint of oak, and it just finishes with that rye spice. That me especially, you know, I love like sweetness in my bourbons, but I love that spice to balance those sweet notes, and that's what you get in this. For $30, I feel like this punches way above its weight class, I would say, because like, yeah, just everything you get out of this for $30, I just keep saying $30. It's just amazing that this is priced at $30, just everything you get out of this. But yeah, I love the way it coats the palate. It coats the palate, and then it like kind of ramps up, especially on the mid to back end of the palate. It just finishes strong. I love how it starts, but it just like, instead of just dropping off a cliff, it just keeps going, ramping up, and I love that about it. But let's try it again. And I feel like the more you let it sit in the glass for a while, it turns into more of a candy sweetness, like more candy, like a candied orange. I feel like that starts to come out more, which I love. Yeah, it just gets sweeter on the nose, but it doesn't lose like the rice spice and the baking spices, like all those spices that come through on the nose. You don't lose that. I feel like the candy sweetness just comes up as well. It just adds, it keeps adding to the experience the more you just let it sit in the glass. So I really like that. But one more time on the palate. Yeah, I feel like a little bit of more oak is coming through on the second sip, but it's staying consistent. I'm still getting those same notes, the orange citrus, the rice spice, the caramel, vanilla, and then, like I said, that oak is coming through. I feel like the oak is kind of like taming that sweetness that I was getting the first sip, but that rice spice, that finish with that rice spice and the way it coats your palate and then towards the back, it's still there. It doesn't like die down. It's still what you got on the first sip is, you know, what you get on the second sip. As far as me, I'm still getting everything that I got on the first sip. I'm still getting it, just like a little bit more is coming through as far as the palate. On the nose, I got, like I said, that candy sweetness really comes through. I didn't get as much of that candy sweetness on the palate, but it did come through on the nose. So overall, you know, you guys shouldn't be surprised from the way I was gushing about it at the start of the video. But yeah, this is an A+. It's just amazing, especially the value that you get out of this. Nowadays, anything over 100 proof, you know, it's like $70 to $100, sometimes even more, without an age statement. So this being $30, I feel like it's perfect. I feel like it's a go-to for me. It's one that I always mention a lot when I make list videos. For bourbons, I always try to include this on the list, because even though a lot of people know about it, I feel like it's still not like talked about enough. I feel like because it always just sits on the shelf, people just walk by it and they don't know what they're missing. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, and keep it legit and do it for the love of whiskey. Cheers.